Hello, happy Wellness Wednesday. I'm coming to you from the car. I am driving safely, hands-free off of the phone. I'm actually going to get breakfast and do a couple things, but I wanted to hop on here to talk about kids and nutrition. What would your 5-year-old say if your 5-year-old, let me shut the windows, if your 5-year-old was to be asked, what is nutrition or what is health? If you were to ask your 5-year-old, what does that mean? What is healthy eating? What is nutrition to you? What would the 5-year-old say? If your 5-year-old could explain all the food groups, could explain how food is energy for our body, could explain how food can be very tasty and it can be really fun, and then sometimes it can be routine and mundane, and it's something that is, to be expected for the morning and the evening. And what would they say about food? It's a really interesting question to ask, because in adulting, in adult land, I think adults make things harder than they need to be. I think adults make things really complicated, and it can be very emotional. It can be very systemic, meaning there's lots of rules and regulations, which there's a time and a place. It's very important to have public health safety, and I'm not negating the relative importance of rules and safety with food. But I want to take a step back, and if you were to ask, how would your kindergartner explain health and nutrition and food, what would they say? For kicks, ask them, and don't prep them. Don't tell them what to say. Don't give them a yes or no answer. Give them a question that they would have to explain in a few sentences. They will most likely say what you model. They will most likely say whatever guardian is in their life that deems importance or have some sort of influence. They will probably mimic what you do. So if you have a household that shames food, and I'm not judging or saying that's the wrong or right thing to do, but if you have a household that talks about food in good or bad, or I can't believe you're eating that, I'm so fat, those types of comments can lead a very impressionable mind to believe that food carries a moral compass, meaning, oh, well, I'm so bad because I'm having soda. You're not bad if you drink soda. You're not good if you're drinking magical mushroom, what is it called? Magical mushroom soup. I don't know. You're not having any sort of prize because you're eating healthy food. What you could be doing is you could be contributing to a longer life, which I'm assuming most people, that sounds good, right? A longer, healthier life. Be mindful of the words that you use around food and body and weight, because little ears are listening. If you have little ears around you, or even teenagers, a lot of times in my practice when I'm working with teenagers who are struggling with their body, they're struggling with food, they're struggling with weight, it's because that's how their household was. Again, not blaming, not shifting blame, not saying that was the cause, but there is an impact upon what you model, what you do, and how they learn how to eat. One of the great questions I like to ask is, who taught you how to eat? Who showed you? Who showed you how to make food choices, what to make choices with? Because that did impact you, and that did impact your memory of food. So for me, personally, not that it really matters, I really, really want my boys, if they have a choice between carrots or Doritos, sometimes they choose Doritos and sometimes they choose carrots. Knowing that most of the time when they choose vegetables, their body is going to feel better. Now, I have a 2.5-year-old. there's not really, he's choosing what makes him feel good. So most of the time, he's choosing things like cookies and sugar-based things, which there has to be some structure. If my mom watches this, she's going to be like, there's no structure. Well, we were on vacation. We were in Maryland. So teaching a 2-year-old how to make wise choices can be really tough. Is that the time or the place to do it? Probably not. Probably not, because they are learning and they're exploring, and them having access to food choices that makes them feel good. That's going to be my role. Now, as I'm saying this, I'm like, maybe I should move the animal crackers so he doesn't see them. So he won't choose them for dinner, per se. But are you allowing them to explore food without them feeling like they're a good or bad person? That would be the next step, is are they given choices in food that allows them to feel good in their body? And if you have a teen that already feels bad in their body, maybe just because of the social norms and the diet culture, it's really giving them the space to say that and to feel comfortable in saying, I'm really uncomfortable in my body and I'm scared to choose foods because I'm scared food is going to hurt my body. Now, if you have a kindergartner saying that, please reach out to medical professionals so they're able to navigate this. In the clinical setting, that's what I've done for almost 10 years, which is wild to me. Navigating how to have conversations and how to allow people the space to feel safe in their body and safe with food. Now, that's in the clinical world. In the non-clinical world, if you have a relationship with food where you feel comfortable and, your kids feel comfortable with food, why does this matter? Food can be a great mirror for how you approach relationships and money and business. Do you have a plan of how you're going to eat today? And are your choices, have you thought about them just for a second? And so my text that I sent out this morning is, what have you chosen to eat today? And is it in line with your nutritional goals? Now, when we were out the house this morning and my youngest had milk, my oldest had waffles, and I didn't make myself breakfast, which typically I do. I typically make some sort of protein shake or just something that's really simple. But as I got the text, I thought, I forgot to prioritize myself. And if I continue that throughout today, I'm going to feel like crap at the end of the day. So it actually made me turn around, go home, put on some makeup, make an extra waffle before I headed to a doctor appointment. Are the choices that you're making, are they in line with your goals? Do you even have a nutritional goal? If you want your health to be a priority, ask yourself, am I choosing to make nutrition part of a goal, part of our family plan? And with your kids, it could be as simple as, do they know what's happening for dinner? Do you have a meal plan? It does not need to be extravagant. All you simply could do is say, okay, kids, on Monday we're having spaghetti. On Tuesday we're having tacos. On Wednesday we're having this. Thursday, Sally, would you like to choose the dinner? But you have to have this conversation on a Sunday. Don't do it on a Thursday, the day that they pick, because then they're going to pick something that you don't have, and then that's going to be all stressful. So one way to get the kids involved is have them choose a dinner, and whatever they choose, make it so you can have all the food groups. If they choose, my sons would choose French fries. They absolutely French fries. So show them how to make French fries. And so get potatoes, slice them up, however you make them. Now my boy, especially my oldest, would say, I want McDonald's. McDonald's is his favorite. So okay, once a week, plan to have McDonald's. It's not going to overhaul their entire health. Don't come at me with all of the stuff with the chemicals. I believe in the body's ability to navigate that better. And that's my own personal choice. There is zero capability for me to get rid of the exposure of fast food in our life. We're very social. He goes to public school, so I don't want him to be afraid of it. And when he's older, he can choose to incorporate that or not. But right now, him having the ability to choose the food and not be afraid of it, and not be afraid of his body and things, that is more important to me. Because he also is having other fibers. Anyway, so my challenge for you is when you're asking your kids, are they able to say that food is energy for their body? Food is going to be a part of their life till they die. And what is their relationship? And keep it super simple. Kids are really innocent. They typically have no filter. And if they say something that feels kind of jarring, just let it be and then try to navigate it with your spouse or your partner. I'm here to have a quick conversation. I have a practice where I could do a free consult. We could have a free debrief. Just kind of see where your mind's at. Your relationship with food, especially if you're the maternal influence, impacts your kids the most. Whenever I'm working with kids that struggle with food, the maternal influence has the most impact. There's so many different ways we could have this conversation, so it is important to look at. It doesn't need to be a long conversation, but take a look. So ask your kids, what's the role of food in their life? What would they say? And see what come of it. My one tip, don't do this at the mealtime. Do this another time, because when someone's eating, asking about their food, people get self-conscious. It's an awkward conversation. So do it outside of a mealtime, when you're playing, when, everyone's kind of in a good mood, not in a temper tantrum, not a forced conversation, but maybe on the drive home or just something where you say, hey, I have a fun question I want to ask you, and give it a go and see what they say. And it's a kind of a fun question for you to answer. If you were to describe food, what would you say? And if there's pain in that answer, or if there's confusion, ask for help. And that's me. I mostly cash pay, but I do accept major insurance carriers that I could work with you, and it's nationwide. So reach out. Thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful Wednesday. Okay, bye.